Welcome back to Making an Adventure, guys. So today we're going to be doing some more mechanic type work stuff on the truck. I noticed that when I switch the key on, and you gotta wait for the glow plugs to heat up for it before you can try to start the truck, the glow plug light is staying on much longer than it usually does. And that's usually an indication that the glow plugs are going out. This video, we're gonna show you how to do the glow plugs on one of these 98 International 4700s with the T444E engine, which is the same thing as the Ford 7.3 liter Power Stroke of the same year. I've been kind of dreading this for a while because a lot of people wreck their engine changing the glow plugs. I hope that doesn't happen today. But first I want to make sure that the glow plugs are actually getting power, and I'm going to take the cover off of my engine bay down, or my battery bay right down here, and see if I can do some tests. Alright, so this right here is an amp clamp meter. Well, it's a multimeter that has an amp clamp function on it. So to set it to use the amp clamp function, all you have to do is just rotate this dial here. And I'll come down here and make sure it's on DC. I can press the select button and switch from DC to AC. So I'm measuring DC. And we take that clamp and we clamp it onto one of the terminals. That's it. So now when I switch the key on, it'll tell me the current that's running through this terminal. Right now it should be nothing because of course the truck isn't on. Switch the key to run. So when I was testing with that amp clamp, I noticed almost no voltage change. So I really hope that changing these glow plugs are going to do a little bit of a difference. Yeah, so we're just gonna start off by warming the truck up. Again, I'm gonna set the high idle, let it get nice and warm, and then we'll shut it off and we can get to work. Engine's all up to temperature, and now we'll just try to not destroy our engine. So what I'm trying to get to is behind all of this stuff. And this engine, the head gasket's nice and warm. I'm not gonna touch the exhaust header because that would suck. It would probably burn me pretty good. But I'm gonna start by taking off all this stuff so I can get to the valve cover. $10mm. Let me take all this apart and then I'll come back when I can bring it in closer. All right, so full disclosure, it's been a couple of weeks since I left you guys last. Not because that's how long it took to take this thing apart, but I wanted to wait for it to get just a little bit warmer. But now that I've got all this stuff out the way, should be able to just undo this last bolt and expose my glow plugs. Last bolt. And so this is the valve cover. So you want to make sure you don't drop any dirt or anything like that in there. I've already blown it off with the air compressor. I just gotta wiggle this thing out. Go. That's fairly clean. Yeah, that's fairly clean for a truck of this age. That's actually very clean for a truck of this age. Not let that get in there. So these are all your injectors on top, but the glow plugs are right underneath that. So we need to get this gasket off, and I'm gonna reuse it. All right, so this wire right here is your glow plug wire. Just kind of pull it out and get it off of there, just like that. Now we need to stick a socket down in here and gently release that glow plug. So the way people total these engines, not really total, it's just a giant pain and very expensive, is when they're loosening their glow plugs, it breaks. So you just have to make sure you go by hand at first until it's nice and loose before you put a power tool on it. And be very gentle. I can't get this out. Here we go. It went right back on there and got stuck again. I can't take it off like that. I'm gonna take this one out so you can see, and I'm gonna have to try to get that other one out. It's gonna be kind of difficult. There it is. It's the glow plug.
What does it smell?
It smells like oil. So that's the old one out. You gotta be real careful because that is directly into your cylinder. So don't drop any dirt down in there. New one goes down. Just like that. Now we have to do that 7 more times because this is a V8. Oh, this is messy. Okay. Let's see how I can finagle this back in. There we go. Okay.
We have the cutest little supervisors. I'm Akita. I'm Milwaukee. Boop, 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 boop. Hey babies. Good job, pups.
The torque spec varies per engine. So look up and see what yours is. And then retorque these bolts. Ours is 14 foot-pounds. Just putting it all back together. Alright, so on this side, I think I'm going to save this for later. Partially because of these hoses, but the other part is this rear hose back here is cracked quite a bit, and I'm going to need to order another one, most likely. And underneath this, there's a couple of O-rings that I want to replace. I'm probably going to have to order that too. So instead of leaving this side exposed for a couple of weeks, I'll just come back to that side. But that's going to do it for this video. We'll see you guys next time. Be sure to like and subscribe if you learned something, and share it to someone else so they can learn too. I do want to make sure it starts though before I call this one good. So, glow plugs are on. It runs. Sweet. See you guys next time.